You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, guys, we're going to be talking about the national disgrace. That is one Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick is despicable. This man hates the United States of America, doesn't want to stand for the national anthem, promotes Marxism, and he started a movement in sports that has truly not went away. You still have people today in 2023 kneeling for the national anthem. Why? It's because back in 2016, Colin Kaepernick was upset about losing his job. His skills were eroding, and therefore he decided to, you know what? I hate this country so much, so I'm going to actually go out there, promote lies about the country, and I'm going to kneel for the national anthem. At first, he was actually sitting down on the bench, and then he started kneeling. The man has not stopped. He has become a woke Marxist revolutionary. It kind of seems like what was actually going on with Cuba and Fidel Castro. And Colin Kaepernick, as you guys know, he loves him some communists. He loves Fidel Castro. The man actually wore socks that called the police pigs. Yes, he is a revolutionary. And I believe that that woke girlfriend he got really, really radicalized him. I mean, so much now that last month he came out and he attacked his adopted parents. He essentially called them racist. Why? Because they told him, hey, we don't want you to get cornrows in your hair. You're going to look like a criminal. You're going to look like a little thug. And he put that in his book, Change the Game. Little kids are going to be seeing this stuff, folks. And these little kids that are actually going to read this book, I highly recommend parents don't actually let them read this book because they're going to be indoctrinated in this stuff. So if you are a little kid, your parents tells you no, all you got to do is scream racism. You know, especially, you know, if you're a biracial kid and you're actually being raised by a white family. It's okay to call them out on their quote unquote racism, according to Colin Kaepernick. It was pretty despicable what he did to his adopted parents. I still, as of today, don't know how they actually feel about his comments. I have no idea. You don't throw your parents under the bus like that, especially a family that took you in, loved you, fed you, put a roof over your head. And I'm willing to bet they're the primary reason why he was actually able to make it to the NFL. I mean, not many guys can actually make it to the NFL, regardless of what you actually think about Colin Kaepernick right now. He did actually make it to the NFL. He did have success. He did actually go to a Super Bowl. Was he a great quarterback? No. But he had a couple of very good years. He did. But once his skills eroded, he started seeing everything through a racial lens. And it got to the point, guys, to where he felt comfortable attacking his adopted parents. The man is not backing off what he said. He's actually doubling down even more and talking about this book with this woke co-author, Eve Ewing, I believe that's her name. Yeah, he's doubling down on this. Look at this on Fox News. Colin Kaepernick, hard to have conversations with loved ones about perpetuating problematic elements, aka racism, because he actually said his adopted parents were perpetuating racism. Just because they told him, we don't want you to get cornrows in your hair and look like a little thug. Wow. Let's read some of this, guys, and then we're going to watch the clip. Colin Kaepernick and Eve L. Ewing, co-authors of the former NFL QB's graphic novel, Change the Game, talked Thursday about responses they received from readers of the book. Kaepernick, who criticized his white adopted parents earlier this month, actually last month, told Ewing he's received a lot of feedback about different family dynamics. And we actually have the clip here, guys, and it gets really, really woke. They actually use some woke terminology here. And Eve Ewing, I never heard of her before, but after watching this clip here, oh boy. Yeah, she's super woke. She even tries to invoke trans stuff into this. And they actually use the term transracial in this. Transracial adoptee. Now, when I hear the term transracial, I was actually thinking, all right, this is some type of a Rachel Dolezal thing where you actually have, like, in the case of Rachel Dolezal, a white woman that actually thinks that she is black. But that's not really the case. I actually looked it up, and what it actually means is if you actually take, let's say, like a young black boy and have him adopted by a white family, so he's not being raised by his own race per se. Now, in the case of Colin Kaepernick, it's not a transracial thing because he's actually half white. And by the way, in case you guys don't know his background, his black father ran out on his mother, wanted nothing to do with him. And his mother put him up for adoption, and a white family raised him. Does Colin Kaepernick know anything about being raised in a black home? No, he does not. He's a race hustler, and he wears that afro because I guess it makes him feel empowered as a quote unquote black man, even though he's actually biracial. Colin Kaepernick never actually had that afro before he got woke. Look at the thumbnail of this video, guys. Colin Kaepernick is there with his adopted parents. He does not have all that hair. Even though he said that pretty much after that incident with his parents, that he actually started to grow his hair out. The man did not have a big afro when he was in the NFL at first. He didn't. But anyway, let's go and watch this clip.
So many young people out there now that are transracial adoptees that I know are going to see themselves and see their story in this book because, you know, it's isolating. And that's like, I think a key word that for me, a big takeaway from a lot of our conversations is like isolation, you know? So, but I think that there will continue to be surprises, especially as young people themselves pick up the book. And I don't know if that will be their main takeaway, you know? So we'll see how that goes.
I will say I've had a lot of responses from other transracial adoptees on that front. Just like having similar experiences and having similar family dynamics that they're trying to navigate.
Right.
And I think it's because it is so unique, it is very difficult for people to have a nuanced conversation around it. Yeah, like, yeah, the people that love you and that you love can also perpetuate very problematic elements.
Right, right.
In other words, be racist towards you because they don't agree with your actions as a kid.
And those things can exist at the same time.
Right.
And part of it is like, how do you grapple with that?
Right.
Like, how do you navigate that?
Right.
And especially at a young age, where it's like, are you equipped to navigate that? And are your parents equipped to navigate that?
And also, who do you go to, right? Like who do you talk to about that if you don't? And, you know, I said this to you last week, but I'll say it again publicly. Like, I think that's a conversation across race. I think that's a conversation for cis parents raising trans kids. I think that's a conversation for hearing parents raising deaf kids, right? I think that's a conversation across gender identity and sexuality and so many other things. And like you said, we have to be able to sit with these things in tension that you can love somebody and still be capable of hurting them, right? And so what is your responsibility to be thoughtful and to educate yourself and what it means to be a truly caring caretaker for that person? So yeah, I'm glad that we're having a conversation, but it is interesting how people pick it up.
Wow. Astonishing, guys. Astonishing. And this is the kind of stuff Colin Kaepernick wants little kids to see. He wants little kids to believe that hey, if you want to do something and your parents or your adopted parents in this case don't agree, they are perpetuating racism. This is dangerous stuff, folks. This is radical stuff right here. This is the woke revolutionary mindset right here. Little kids start actually reading this book, and they're going to go out there and they're going to see, especially adopted kids, you know, they're going to go out there and see their parents as being racist, especially, you know, if they are of a different race than the adopted parent. This is the Marxist revolutionary mindset. Colin Kaepernick, you are a disgrace. You are a national disgrace. But I'm going to leave that right there, guys. Colin Kaepernick, pretty despicable right here. Doubling down here that he was right and his parents were wrong. I really would like to know what his parents actually think about him actually throwing them under the bus. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and white sports fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.